Oh yeah, mi gente, you know who this is. I want to bring something to the floor that has been on my mind for a while, and I hear a lot of different takes on this or whatever. And I just want us to have an open mind as we talk about this particular issue. A lot of times you'll hear people use the term African American to describe black people, and I want to preface this by saying that whatever term you as a black person feel comfortable with, that's perfectly fine with me. But I want to bring some information again to the floor to give some other perspectives on it, and whatever conclusion that you draw is what you draw, and it's perfectly fine. I want to start this by taking us on a little journey across the waters, actually, and not to Africa. I want to take us, first of all, to Asia, India, Malaysia, and all those countries there. And as we're over there, I want us to take actually a closer look at the people and the complexions, hair textures, and skin tones that are there. Alright, as you see it on this picture right here, these are all the pictures of people that are in those different countries. You'll see very fair skin to very light skin. I want you to take a close look at the guy that's second from the bottom, alright, on the right hand side. We're bringing you for a closer look at him. You'll see he's very dark skinned, like he's got a blowout in his hair. Okay, this particular ethnic group is called negritos, or little black men, alright? And they inhabit the lower portions of Asia, alright? Some of the countries that they are indigenous to are the Philippines, India, Malaysia, and Thailand. So just get a real closer look. I know this is probably a culture shock for a lot of people, but these people are indigenous to that area. Okay, so take a look at this picture right here. These are some negritos from the Philippines from the year of 1899. Alright? Yeah, dark-skinned people in the Philippines. Alright, this picture right here is from Malaysia, 1905. Alright? Take a close look right here. This picture coming up. Okay, this is a young man from Vanuatu. That's an island a little bit northeast of Australia. Okay. Alright. So take a close look at that. You see where he comes from. He's indigenous. Those people are indigenous to that island. Let's go a little further northwest to Great Britain. This is Lennox Lewis, the famous boxer from England. Okay. Let's take a look at another black man, a black Chinese guy. He only speaks Mandarin. His name is Ding Hui. I don't know if I said it right. Okay, Chinese, born and raised in China, speaks only Mandarin. This is Daniel Norell. He's Swedish. He's from Sweden. Okay. Let's take a look right here. Let's go to Mexico. This is Giovanni Dos Santos. Okay. Let's take another look at another black man from Nigeria. Okay. Soccer player down there. Don't have his name. Okay. Let's take one more look at another black man from America. Alright, Mr. Usher Raymond, the singer. Okay. What I want to say about this is that a lot of times people will try to, or feel they need to be really politically correct with this phrase of African American. You couldn't call all of these black men African American. They're from different countries. They will be called Black Britain, Black Chinese, Black Nigerian. Your culture is based largely upon the environment that you're raised in. You know what I'm saying? If you take a black man and put him in any of those countries, those will be his ethnicities that he's raised in, the language, and all those things. For me personally, and I'm a multi-ethnic, multiracial individual, for me personally, the term African American, I don't feel is a perfect fit or correct fit. Why? Because I wasn't raised in Africa. I don't know any of the African, I barely know the countries, of Africa. I don't know any of the customs. So, and as being a student of sociology, it teaches you, regarding culture and ethnic groups and the things that people, custom and culture are passed down. So if you aren't raised, there are only two ways that you can get a culture. You can be raised in a culture and it's passed down from your parents and grandparents in your community, or the second way that you can get a culture is you can go and adopt a culture. You can learn a culture, it can be passed down to you. You can adopt a culture, by will, but the only thing that you cannot change is your race. The common denominator for all those guys that we just showed you is that their race is black, but their culture is from the prospective countries that they are from. And the last one we showed you was Usher, who was raised here in America, so his, technically speaking, his culture would be Black American. The term African American is a cultural term. The term British American is a cultural term. The term Chinese American is a cultural term. Those are cultures. And all of those countries have subcultures as well. You know what I mean? So it's up to you. But let's, a lot of people don't even know really where that term came from. A lot of people think that it was originated by Jesse Jackson in the 1980s. No, actually, it first appeared in print back in a Canadian publication called Voice of the Fugitive in 1853. And the term there was used Afro-American. So, again, it's just something to think about and consider. A lot of times, we jump on the bandwagons because we hear something and then everybody accepts it or uses it. And this is not me being anti-black or being non-loyal to the black part of my family line or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But just in terms of political correctness, if you were to drop me off right now in any of the many countries of Africa, I would be completely lost. I know nothing of them, none of the cultures or whatever. I'm proud to have, possibly that heritage, and I say possibly because black people and the remains of black people have been found in the Americas that predate slavery, and there's a book also and several other books, one of them by Ivan Van Sertima, that they came before Columbus. Blacks were here in the Americas from the Canadians down to the tip of South America before slavery was ever here. And there were blacks in America that were never slaves. Alright? So, we're proud of that African connection, but in a present day cultural context, that's not my comfortable identification. And I want to say to white people out there that will see and hear this video, and it's kind of funny, but I understand it. I've seen some of them talk and say African American, like oops, like they said a dirty word or whatever. Not every black person considers themselves an African American, so it's better, just like with anybody else, if you're not sure what a person's race or ethnicity, it's okay to ask. Everybody, it doesn't ascribe to that, and it's nothing against anyone that does. You know what I'm saying? If you feel that, self-determination, gives you the right and autonomy to identify yourself however you feel, and that's fine. I'm just presenting another side of this, so people can see and consider, something else. And I know many people that are on both sides of the conversation. So anyway, I want you to speak up on here. How do you, as a black person, identify yourself? Whether you're a black person from America or England or Australia or India, and you have black people also as well. We didn't go into that in the Arabian countries, as well. Iraq, Iran, yeah, we do. Would you call them African Americans, black people in Saudi Arabia? You have black people there in Saudi Arabia that speak Arabic. You know what I'm saying? So African American is not a catchphrase that you can call every black person no matter where they live in the world. Alright, something to consider. This video is running on 10 minutes, so I want to cut it off right here. So live and love, mi gente. Te quiero. And I want to preface this by saying that whatever term you as a black person feel comfortable with, that's perfectly fine with me. But I want to bring some information again to the floor to give some other perspectives on it, and whatever conclusion that you draw is what you draw, and it's perfectly fine. I want to start this by taking us on a little journey across the waters, actually, and not to Africa. I want to take us, first of all, oh yeah, you know who this is. I want to bring something to the floor that has been on my mind for a while, and I hear a lot of different takes on this or whatever, and I just want us to have an open mind as we talk about this particular issue. A lot of times you'll hear people use the term African American to describe black people.